Corruption. As regards fighting corruption, improving accountability of institutions, priority will be given to ensuring transparency, accountability, and anti-corruption measures across government systems by implementation of electronic government in especially procurement, health, education, and taxation. Doing things through the computer eliminates these meetings in hotels between government officials and business people, because that's where the corruption is. What are you going to discuss in the hotel? Why don't you send him a message on the computer? That's why e-governance is crucial. It will help. Fast tracking the monitoring the effective implementation of government programs. Strengthening the courts and case management systems through adequate staffing and digitalization. And implementation of overt and overt efforts in the fight against corruption. As we get near the conclusion, economic priorities of the government next financial year. In the next financial year, 2023-2024, the following key strategic areas will be prioritized. Peace and security of person and property, number one. Effective implementation of the parish development model and Myoga. Acquisition of right-of-way and starting the construction of the standard gauge railway, as well as finalizing the rehabilitation of the meter gauge railway. Number four, investing in small-scale solar-powered irrigation systems to address climate change and ensure food security and eliminate the erraticness in agricultural production. Number five, constructing transmission lines and power substations. 6, maintenance of both tarmac and Maram roads. 7, development of industrial parks to ease manufacturing. 8, support to medical schools and science-based research development. 9, expedite the development of infrastructure for oil and gas production. 10, capitalization of the Uganda Development Bank and the Uganda Development Corporation. 11, support to information, communication, and technology development. Anti-homosexuality law. Before I conclude and talk about the planned legislative agenda for the coming session of Parliament, I cannot avoid commenting on the noise about the anti-homosexuality law that you enacted and signed recently. My stand on homosexuality has been repeatedly laid out to all and sundry. It starts with a few questions. Why does somebody become a homosexual? Is it on account of genetic, hormonal, or psychological reasons? Discussions with our doctors and the other African doctors who had a conference with African members of Parliament from 22 countries unequivocally led us to conclude that homosexuality is as a result of psychological disorientation at some point in one's life, not genetic, not hormonal, as some of us thought. This conclusion that homosexuality is a psychological disorientation gives us a way forward, logically, reasonably, without bias without what? If somebody is a victim of psychological disorientation, do you criminalize him or her on account of that? Is it logical or fair to do so? The answer is no. Instead, such a person needs assistance to, if possible, overcome his psychological disorientation. I'm glad the MPs agreed with me and clarified this point in the law. Therefore, those who say that the homosexuals will be arrested if they go for medical care, etc., are wrong. The law now says that a homosexual will not be criminalized for merely being so if he or she keeps the being to oneself. What then does the law fight? It fights this homosexual when he or she goes from merely being and starts recruiting other people who are not psychologically disoriented like him or her to be like him by misinforming or bribing them. There, he becomes a criminal and, if convicted, goes to prison for a period not exceeding 20 years. If he goes further and rapes a person, a child, an indigent means a weak person, he commits a capital offense and he faces a maximum sentence of death. This is the law I signed. These are the three substantive points I think there's something in here. Oh, these are the three substantive points. Being is your personal problem. Merely being a homosexual that you find you are disoriented, you don't like the ones you should like, you like the ones you shouldn't like. Being is your personal problem. Promoting is criminal and qualifies you for prison. Raping qualifies you for a possible death sentence. So you people, when you are arguing with these people, go for the substance. Don't be invited to these other. Additionally, in Uganda, sex is confidential, even heterosexual sex. Therefore, if a homosexual keeps his being himself, or confidentially seeks assistance from the doctors or priests, it will not offend this law. I have told our MPs that if there are still some illogicalities in the law, such as forcing employers to know who is a homosexual in the company, or landlords to know which tenants are homosexuals, and work to amend them and keep the substance. We should go for the substance, not these other. Because I have heard some people talking about that. But I will call our MPs and we'll talk about it. Therefore, doctors and other health workers, providers, should assist those patients who come to them bearing the three substantive points in mind. I will arrange a dedicated broadcast on this issue toward the end of June. I will give a whole broadcast on this issue. Now, finally, you're about to be saved from me. I wish to end this address by thanking Parliament for enacting the following legislation during the last session. Out of the 62 bills presented to Parliament on the last State of the Nation address in June 2022, the following bills were introduced and passed. Is Bill 2022, the Insolvency Amendment Bill 2022, the Law Revision Bill 2022, the Museum and Monuments Bill 2022, the Physical Activity and Sports Bill 2022, the Anti-Armament Bill 2022, the Small Arms, they are all here. The following 5 were introduced by government in addition to the 62. I think the Speaker had also spoken about those. Now, there are these bills which are ready for second reading: Employment Bill, the Competition Bill, Public Service Pension Fund Bill. The following reports, as highlighted in the State of the Nation Legislative Agenda of June 2022, were processed and adopted. They are also listed here. Madam Speaker, it is now my pleasure to declare the 3rd session of the 11th Parliament open. Thank you very much, and hope that the coming session will be fruitful. I thank you.
Thank you so much.
I need 1 minute. I need to. The morning I was yes, in the morning I was feeling as if I have a slight cold. So I called the medical team to check corona. They took samples as usual. There is what they call a rapid one. That one was negative. Then there are 2 which go for deep analysis. One was negative, the other one was positive. So I'm a suspect of corona as I'm standing here. That's why you saw me coming in separate cars with Mama. I said, Mama, please, you use your car. But since I'm here, I will not infect you. I have kept my, there's a big distance here. So we shall sort out that little issue. Thank you very much.